in a Lutheran church there. Yeah.
And how old were you guys?
Well, we got married on Dorothy's 21st birthday
Yeah.
because she didn't want to have to ask her dad for permission.
I wouldn't ask my dad.
And
No way.
so I was really only 20. I was a youngster at that time, and she was.
An old maid.
Yeah, she was on her 21st birthday. And of course, my birthday is on August, so I was only a couple months away from being 20.
Couple months, it wasn't that long.
Only about 6 weeks, really, from
Yeah,
my
that's
birthday.
right.
So,
Let's keep it straight.
Yeah. Right.
But anyhow, my dad did, they had a nice reception after the wedding. And we had quite a few relatives there. And my cousin, Eileen, she stood up for me. And the night before we were to get married, she said, I want to go out tonight. And I said, well, I'm not going out because I'm getting married tomorrow. And she says, well, if you go out, I'm not going to stand up for you. If you don't go out, I'm not going to stand up for you. And so we bickered and bickered, and I said, okay, I'll go with you. So it was down to a dance hall, which they used to be nice. You know, they're not like some of them are today. So I went down there. Well, this guy asked me to dance, and then he wanted to date for the next day. I'm feeling very, very, very guilty about everything, you know. But
Did you tell him you were getting married the next day?
no, we had a tentative date called, or tentative date. I told him I wasn't sure if I could make it.
You were leaving your options open.
Right.
Just in case the wedding
Just in
fell
case the
through.
wedding didn't go through, you'd have a backup plan.
Oh, when he was, how old would he have been? Probably around 2 years old, in his twos. We lived in this little Quonset hut where Richard was going to college. And when he had to go to the bathroom, you know, I would help him, and then nothing ever bothered him as far as toilet stuff, I guess. And so I would teach him, you know, how to wipe his bottom and put it in the stool, because I said, that's dirty, you know. We don't fool with that. So anyhow, I did some laundry, and there's no stockings anyplace, none of his stockings. Well, I had heard the stool flush, you know, several times. And he had flushed all the stockings down the stool, and I asked him why he did this, and he says, because they're dirty. And then one other time we were in the car, probably going to my parents or someplace out west. And I looked out. I could see it in the mirror on the front of, you know, for the front seat, the rear view mirror. And I saw these clothes flying down the road. You know. He was throwing clothes out the window. He used to do these things.
And you said my dad was a good kid.
Well, he was pretty good. But you know, he didn't believe it was wrong. He just did it. Yeah, he was a character.